All right, so yesterday I've been a bad boy. Yesterday I didn't make a video. But I was quite busy yesterday, very productive yesterday, which was beautiful. And, as I've shared with you before, since I've started to use these patches, I have become more productive, like literally more productive, more creative, more peaceful, more calm, more at ease, and not sort of feeling so all over the place, so thinly spread as I sometimes can. So yeah, yesterday was a busy day, but I achieved so much. But in the same token, it wasn't one of those days where I kind of, felt all over the place. I was just like, okay, sorry, let's just breathe. Let's just relax. Let's just take it easy. And I got so much done. I got so much done, and it's just amazing. And I've just been doing what I've been doing, and it seems like I'm noticed more for what I do, which is really, really great. And it just feels very fulfilling. So, welcome to today's video. So, today is day number 23 of wearing the patches, wearing an X39 and an X49, and reporting on days number 21 and 22. So, these are 2 days. Okay. I didn't get to a video yesterday. But what I did do is I took my doggy for 3 long walks, and it was amazing. And I was just calm, I wasn't stressing through anything. And that is really one of the great benefits that comes with this product, with this technology, with this beautiful stem cell regenerating product. I can personally say within just 2.5 weeks, I feel more at peace, more calm, less anxious, more focused, better health, better sleeping. It's like this clarity of mind, like really this brain fog that I used to have. Sorry, very beautifully moved away. And I was again saying yesterday to one of my clients, one of my hypnosis clients, that is actually a medical doctor, and I've been saying to her, she's in the U.S. and sort of like more the southern part of the U.S., where the weather's quite consistent, really, mostly. But I was saying to her, like, the crazy weather of Cape Town, like just last week, one day it was blazing hot, and then there was these really wild winds that were blowing. Then it was storming, then there were more winds, then it was hot, then it was cold. And, typically that will cause havoc with my system. I'm pretty used to it through the years, but I'd still get, then my nose is dry, then this is congested, then I've got this cough, then I've got phlegm, then I've got a lightheadedness. I typically get sick when the seasons change, and at the moment we are going from the summer period into the more winter sort of periods where the weather is a little bit crazy because, especially in the part of Cape Town where I'm staying, Table Mountain's like literally over there, which is the foot of a mountain. And of course, with Table Mountain, it's a whole range of mountains, So, of course, you only see sort of like the mountain, like the famous part, like the known part of the mountain. But it's a whole mountain range. So, sort of like where I'm staying, which is more central Cape Town, it's sort of like a C-shaped kind of like mountain that moves around, and it's a whole mountain range, and then obviously the ocean is, well, not obviously, but the ocean is down there, on the other side. So, of course, it causes all these different things with the weather and like, natural pressures and all that sort of stuff. So the weather can be very, very up and down, in the part of Cape Town where I'm staying in central Cape Town. And it does typically affect me in a bad way. I just feel lethargic and I feel drained, and I'm just like, oh, fuck all of this. I'm not going to do anything. But I'm not feeling that way. Not at all. And it's wonderful for me because I just assume that this is something, that I'm going to accept. But then, not, which is really, really amazing. And if I reflect back on my journey, I think just a sense of peace and inner calm, that I've come to discover. And just sharing these stories with other people, because as I said, my intention was just to share. And so when other people have been touched by it and reach out, and then they started to use the product and they started to get amazing benefits from it, and their lives are better. And for me, that is just a beautiful, fantastic thing that, I can do something to help the world to be a better place, because essentially or predominantly or fundamentally or whatever descriptive term you want to use, I'm a holistic wellness practitioner. And I am very focused on wellness of the heart, wellness of the mind, wellness of the psyche, wellness of the being, and above all, because we forget this so many times, wellness of the physical being, of the physical body, because we are souls having a human experience in a human environment. And we often forget that, and when the body isn't doing well, nothing else is really doing well. And the world is quite dystopian at the moment. Things are really crazy at the moment. There's a lot of pressure on us at the moment. And the thing to remember is that, just because in your outside life you are coping well or well enough with everything that's going on, still doesn't mean that it's conducive to your health, because the human system still hasn't been designed to, to deal with this level of pressure, to deal with this level of overwhelm, to deal with this level of gaslighting and manipulation that is coming to us from all different angles from the powers that be, you know. I mean, before we at least had the sense of like, well, maybe this and that body and whatever they're doing their thing, but you can still sort of like semi depend on, like the government and things like that, and all sorts of bigger institutions. And I think that anybody would be a fool to fully believe in the government at the moment, Um, and I'm just going to go out and say this, even the World Health Organization, and I've seen some of the shit that they've been doing. And yes, everybody will say, like, those are professionals and the medical doctors and scientists and all those sort of things. Um, but so has some of the biggest geniuses in the world, have been, you know. The person that invented the atom bomb was a genius. So as human beings, we are really so gripped in fear that in many ways we have started to use our beautiful intelligence and power and influence and accessibility to certain things and influences. We have really gone into this greedy spaces. And I'm not saying there are people that are not doing good things. They definitely are. They are definitely fighting the good fight. But with everything where we are in the world at the moment, and with fear, generational fear still being so highly operational, it's almost difficult to not fall into fear-driven greed. It's almost difficult not to do it, because the world is just so crazy at the moment. And yes, all of this will pass. We are awakening to the realization of what isn't working. Some call it 3D to 5D. We have the realization of what's not working, where we are very clearly saying no to certain things because they are not good for us. But in order to get there, there is a certain level of realization that needs to be reached and that needs to be accepted. And we're pretty much in that space. That's why everything is sort of like very, all over the place at the moment. But in all of this craziness, you are having the opportunity to find yourself, in a sense that you can be the best version that you can possibly be. And that is something that these amazing stem cell regenerating patches, that they're helping you with. And I have shared this in a previous video, but I was thinking about it again yesterday, where somebody was reaching out to me because she's in an older age and there's a lot of pressure on this lady. A little while ago she lost a pet, her dog. A car ran him over. Somebody left the gate open, and as a dog owner myself, and if you look a little bit back on my previous video, when somebody came into our yard and kidnapped my dog, I really get that. It's harrowing. It's horrific to deal with when something happens to our animals. And her husband has been in and out of hospital. He's been having operations that were necessary, but then there were all sorts of complications post surgery, the wound that wouldn't close, other things on top of that. And also her children were actually grown adults. They have taken those intravenous injections, sort of like the vitamin sort of like cocktail type of thing, and they have been horrendously ill since the time they took that. And so they are looking at starting to use these patches to really get those toxins out of their body and to get the body to heal. And this is really what this product does. You know, I had a very I know I mentioned HIV and cancer in a previous video, but I had a very in-depth conversation with somebody very close to me who's HIV positive and who was actually being, very challenged by the medication. The very medication that's keeping you alive is, because it messes with your hormones and all that sort of things, so it messes with your mood and your sense of well-being, and even in a way, sort of like, with maintaining a placid and a pleasant and a calm sort of mental state of stability, because when funny things happen inside of the body, obviously it has an effect on you. And so I was telling this person about, actually this person came across my video and reached out to me and asked me about it, and I was happy to share. And it's exciting for me that that this person is now going to start using this product, and it's going to help it's going to help him to feel better and to cope better with life and to just have better days, so that the very thing that keeps you alive, which are the ARVs, so the very thing that is keeping you alive, doesn't have to cause so much upheaval in your life, which is really, really fantastic, Um, and I just think it's really, really great. I know that a lot of other people are using this product, hypnotherapists such as myself, massage therapists such as myself, acupuncturists, all these people that are really, really doing these amazing things. And there have been some A-lister sports stars that have been using these things forever. We're wondering, how are they so good? Why do they not age? This is the reason why, because this product is absolutely fantastic for you. And I can tell you from personal experience, I do not like to recommend things that I didn't have the experience with. Your experience might be different from mine, but I don't like to recommend things, just from hearsay. And yes, reviews are great. I mean, there are thousands of reviews, but I want to experience the effect for myself. And I tell you, it has been life changing. It has been phenomenally amazing, phenomenally exciting. I am just so together. My head is so together. I'm so focused. I feel good in my body. I have been trying. Now, full disclosure, I don't really like going to the gym. I find it incredibly boring. But I take my daily walks with my dog, and I've got this tendency to, because I live alone, I close all the windows, all the curtains and the blinds, and I like to take off all my clothes and I put on some music in my earphones and I just dance, and I will dance till like the sweat drips off my body, just because I like to do it, and my dog must think that I'm absolutely psycho. But because I am in my 40s, I'm 41 and a half, your metabolism obviously slows down. And so, I just assume gone are the days when I can just eat anything and just, have this crazy metabolism that I'm always like stick thin and complain like, oh guys, if I can just pick up some weight, and everybody's like, once you pick it up, you're going to be sorry. But my weight gain journey has really started. Never really had a problem with weight. In actual fact, funny enough, my best friend and I used to speak, and she had the challenges of being the fat child at school, and we have this conversation. It was so interesting that the same level of challenges that she went through, I went through as a thin child, because I used to be like really stick thin, so I had those challenges going through as a thin child, and obviously kids can be very cruel, and a lot of the trauma is still inside of us, until we process it out of our bodies. And this product is really great for this as well, because it sort of lifts your morale so you feel better. And, of course, every day our body generates new cells. And so because you feel better, those new cells are programmed in a more positive way. So your entire beautiful system, your ecosystem, so to speak, your body, begins to work for you and not against you. I mean, it certainly helps that you got like better skin, and, you feel more at peace, and it's just wonderful. Um, and I'm gonna put this in a way that, let me put it to you like this: if you hear me, you're gonna hear me, and if you don't hear me, you're not gonna hear me, and that's okay. All right. So, for those of you that don't know what a centimeter is, that is about a centimeter. Okay. So it's tiny. It's about the size of my nail. All right. So I've automatically started to lose some weight, which is wonderful, and I still feel great, and I still eat whatever I wanna, and I just don't feel like the bad stuff anymore. So I just don't feel like the bad food. I just don't. I'm just not in the mood for it. It's not. I'm literally, definitely not trying to withhold myself from things. I just don't get a feel for it. You know what I'm saying? Um, but with the centimeter thing, um, I have noticed myself gain almost a full centimeter in the last 2.5 weeks in the way that men like to gain almost a centimeter. That's all I'm going to put on that. Now, that might just be me. I'm not saying that is something that's going to happen for everyone, but, I was literally like, oh, you know, this mean it's not like I was complaining before, but I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. That's a welcome change. So that was quite cool, and I mean, I'm not really fat, but I started to get like a little bit of a belly and like some love handles, and the love handles are pretty much flat. The belly's smaller, and so I suppose I am losing in the places where it matters, and gaining in the places where it matters. So yeah, that was like I actually only just noticed that yesterday. It's not like I suppose when you're a teenager, you're very, um, how would I say it? You're very conscious and you're very aware and you're very like, okay, where are we at now? Type of thing. But as you obviously go through life and you get older, that is not really something that I'm doing. So, um, but yeah, you know, they say a change will do you good. I suppose so. But yeah, yeah. So that's what I have for you. Remember to join the Facebook group. Remember to join the WhatsApp group, and reach out if you've got some questions, you've got some concerns. You want to benefit from this beautiful product. You want to give it a try. Reach out, and I look forward to connecting to you tomorrow. From my heart, namaste, love and light.